But it was something I said to my wife. I said, you know what? A lot of times when we go through a lot of these situations, we focus on everything that's happening to us right now, all of the negative things that are going on right now. But I said to her, I said, you know what? When we had those long seasons or months of a nice flow of everything going good, we didn't even think about, we didn't even stop to say, oh, everything is going great. I wonder when something's going to hit me that's negative or bad, right? We just flow in it and we have a good time in it. But when we get Eat Up Mondays, hey, what's going on, family? You guys already know what day it is. It is the day after Sunday. Welcome to another Eat Up Mondays. I just want to say I appreciate all of you guys constantly tuning in to have this meal with me every week. I truly do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to having these meals with us, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, like the video, share the video. Maybe it'll be an encouragement to somebody else. But listen, all of us, we came because we are hungry. We are ready to eat. So without further ado, guys, let's dig in. Listen, this week I'm going to share a few scriptures, but before I do, I wanted to say, listen, I know a lot of us may have different situations going on, may be going through some things, that's life, right? Like we're always going to have something that needs to get better or something that may be happening in our lives. And sometimes it could be something small or small to us or something big to us, right? But there's always going to be constantly something going on. And sometimes not only is there something going on, but sometimes it can be those types of situations where it's just one thing after another, right? We're going to go through all of these different things in life. And that's why I wanted to kind of share these scriptures, because I think we can all identify with that in our present time, in our present lives, right? Some may be dealing with more situations than others, but I think these scriptures will bring some encouragement to us and some enlightenment to us, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read all three together. I'm going to share a little bit of a testimony with you guys, and then we're going to go back to those and just kind of touch on the theme that all three have, right? The three things that those three scriptures are speaking to us, even though they're one and the same, but they're three different scriptures. They're speaking one glaring thing to us. So I want to read James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, Romans 5, verses 3 through 6, Romans 8 and 28. And let me see if you can catch a theme here, even before we get into that later on in the video. James 1, 2, and 4 says, and these scriptures are going to be familiar to a lot of you, maybe not all of you, but probably to most of you. James 1, 2, and 4 says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that she may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 6 reads as follows. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also, knowing that tribulation worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope, and hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us. Last scripture, Romans 8 and 28 says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. And a lot of times when we hear those scriptures, we get excited, we get pumped up, we get amped up. But the question is, are we truly applying those scriptures to our lives? Or do we even understand those scriptures enough to apply them to our lives? But I just wanted to share a little personal testimony with you guys of just a few things that I've been going through. It's not even the scope of everything that I've been going through, but just to share a little bit, last August, I started a transport business. Now, those of you that know me personally know that, maybe 20, 25 years now, most of the things that I've been doing has been driving, whether that's driving for companies or driving for myself. Actually, the last time I drove for a company was 2016. So that's the last time I had a W-2, right? Ever since then, it's been all like 1099 work, just doing different contract work for meal plan deliveries, Amazon, Walmart, some Uber Eats. I've done stuff for the newspaper company, just different companies, just doing 1099 work, right? Like independent contract work. So basically, since then, things was going pretty good, but last year it really got to the point where I said, you know what? And I should have did this a long time ago. I said, you know what? I need to start my own transport business and really try to go up to the next level, and get either a cargo van or a box truck. So that way I can get my own contracts and somewhat cut out the middleman, because even then, sometimes you still may have to deal with a middleman depending on what companies you're dealing with. But anyway, started the business, striving to get the high roof van, went into some complications, had some complications, and I wasn't able to do so. So, remember, I started the business last August. So now I'm in this year, you know, pretty close to getting a cargo van, but a couple things happen, sets me back. The bank that I the bank that I have my business account with did some bull with one of my credit cards and just messed everything up. So just a whole bunch of nonsense going on, right? So I'm having these complications with the van, but I'm still looking to find some type of contract to put under my business. So and let me say this too. Another reason is because, one of the reasons why I said it's time to start the business. And like I said, I should have did it a long time ago, even when things were going good, is with COVID, like a lot of the, driving apps, a lot of the stuff that was easier access for everybody to get a hold of, it just got oversaturated. Because you got to think, when COVID happened and people didn't want to take shots and didn't want to do this and that, a lot of people went to a lot of the different driving apps and the independent contract opportunities through driving apps. Because, when we think of that, people think of Uber, they think of DoorDash and stuff like that. But there's so many other companies that use that same type of setup when it comes to getting their things delivered. So the whole market just got super oversaturated. So I said, listen, I need to, do something that some people are doing, but most people aren't doing, and just kind of put myself in another place, to be able to, you know, get back to that place of the income that I was making, so to speak. So, going through all of that, and recently, about a month ago, finally found an opportunity with a company that was connected to Yale here in Connecticut, and I was able to get a medical career contract under my business. So this is the first thing that I'm now, you know, uh, attaching to my business. Like this is the first thing that I'm working under my business. Looked into the opportunity, did it for a couple of days. I said, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been looking for. Still got money set aside for the high roof van. So that's still a goal. But I'm like, listen, I need to make sure I'm consistent with some things right now, because everything else I was doing was just very inconsistent, right? So boom, not even a week and a half in, everything's going well. I like it. All of a sudden, my car that I had since 2016, I actually bought the car to start doing independent contract work when I left my last job. Matter of fact, I think 2 weeks before I left the last job I had in 2016, I had bought the car. So I had the car at the job like 2 weeks before I was leaving, like when I had gave my 2 weeks notice. My car goes down, and I'm in the middle of bringing some blood samples to one of the hospitals. So my car breaks down on the highway. By the grace of God, I'm able to coast off of the highway into an area where I'm able to pull into like a lot. And here's the kicker. That same place years ago, when I was doing contract work for the food delivery company, for a meal plan delivery company, I had a contract with them. My car broke down in the same area, right? But watch how it all ties together. That's super crazy. And I'll say it now. It was my motor then, and it was my motor now. So my car breaks down. I have to call my wife because I have these blood samples, right? Like I need to get this to the hospital. So she comes, brings me to the hospital so I can get that there. While I'm in the hospital, my wife is calling me. I'm upstairs in the lab, dropping everything off, signing everything. My wife calls me and I'm like, why is she calling me? She know I'm running in just to, drop this off real quick and come out. I come outside, somebody is backed into our truck just a couple minutes that I was in the hospital. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, man, what's going on? First, my car break down. And at the time, I didn't even know it was the motor yet, but it breaks down. Now here I am waiting for the tow truck to go and get my car up in here in the hospital trying to get this work done because once again, this is my business, this is my name, and somebody backs into the truck. Nevertheless, finally get the car to my mechanic the next day, find out it's the motor. Motor is no good. It's no point to really, I had the car for a long time. There's no point to put another motor in because when that happened to me last time with my motor, I put a motor in there and it's just no point for me to do that. So here I am. I go to get the car to bring it back home. And I'm like, man, this is my last drive with it. And I think I even recorded a little video of me driving or trying to drive back to the house with it because I knew it was going to be my last little hurrah with my Hyundai Sonata. And I didn't even make it down the street. I think I recorded a video. If I did, I'll post it up. But I didn't even make it down the street. Had to have it towed to the house. So now it's like I don't have a car. Freshly into this new business opportunity, a week and a half in. Now I have to get a rental car because I'm like, I'm definitely not going to be able to run out here right away and buy a car because that's a process in itself. So I get a rental car that Sunday, get a rental car. Why on the third day of me having a rental car, I catch a flat. I go into one of the labs to drop off some stuff from the hospital. I come back out. The car was fine when I put into the lot, as far as I knew. Come back out, flat tire. There's no spare in the trunk of the rental. So I call up the rental place that I originally rented the car from and say, listen, I got a flat. I'm way out here. What do I do? She says, oh, just bring the rental car to the closest, budget rental car place that you can. Okay, I'll do that. So that's all she says to me. She doesn't say anything else. So I call up Triple A, my own Triple A that I used to get my car around when it was going through what it was going through. They bring the rental car to the closest place, which was in New Haven, Connecticut. Because at the time I was in Madison, Connecticut. They bring it to New Haven, Connecticut. I walk into the budget office and the guy starts flipping. He starts bugging. He's talking to me crazy. Now, many of you that's been on this channel, you know my testimony, you know the background I come from. Obviously, I'm not on that type of time anymore. I've been saved for 20 something years now. But I'm telling you, it took everything in me not to say something to this guy because he was talking so crazy. And I'm like, sir, I'm not asking you to fix the car or whatever. This is where I was told to bring it. And you in here flipping. And he was like, oh, just call whoever you want. And I said, you know what? Once he did that, I said, let me get up out of here and let me call another budget rental car place in the area. I called that one and he finally explains to me how the process worked. I didn't even have to get my own towing company to get the car. If they would have told me that, listen, I could just call their roadside service because I didn't know. I'm going to be honest. I didn't know. I never had that problem before. So I said, listen, if I would have known that, I would have just called their roadside service and had them pick it up. So now the AAA guy has to drop the car in the parking lot now. The budget place is closed. I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for budgets, roadside service to come, all types of sketchy individuals walking by. And, I'm just sitting there with a flat tire, just kind of naked and out in the open. And I'm not scared because, I grew up in that similar type of environment. But the fact that I'm going through all this is just like, this is insane. And it reminds me of these scriptures, right? It's just, one thing after another. And some of you guys right now can probably identify with this. You probably got multiple things going on in your life, right? So they finally come pick me up. They take the car. The tow truck driver drops me at the house. They take the car somewhere else. Budget says, listen, we're going to give you an Uber voucher to bring you back over in the morning to get a replacement rental. Cool. I get over to the rental place in the morning and find out that wherever they took the car, they closed out my reservation. But not only did they close out my reservation, remind you, I only had the rental car 3 days. Not only did they close out my reservation, but they charged me $660 for the rental car. I only had it 3 days. The the business, the business code that I had for the rental car, for 2 weeks, it would be cheaper than 600 and something dollars. But they charged me 600 and something dollars for the 3 days. So they tell me right there at the counter, we're going to fix this. Don't worry. Supposedly they fixed it. I'm like, cool. I appreciate it. They said, what will happen is once you return this rental, we're going to take the difference out of whatever this amount is, the 600 and something dollars, and we'll just return whatever we owe to you if there's anything that's owed to you, which it would have been because the rental was only like 500 and something dollars for 2 weeks, right? So boom, I'm thinking everything is fine, everything is cool. I bring the rental car back, and I turn it in after 10 days. So they don't take the 400 and something dollars that it would have cost for the 10 days out of that money. They charge me another 600 and something dollars. So now here it is that they charge me 1,200 and something dollars for a rental that I only had 10 days. And in my mind, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I got the opportunity that I've been waiting for. You know, I'm happy about that, but it seems like everything is fighting against that. And at the same time that this is going on, I had a situation where my lawnmower had went down, and the people that was supposed to be fixing that was supposed to be only a week and a half that it would take to fix it. 3 weeks done passed by. I go in there, they acting like I don't even matter, like they don't even have my stuff, and I had to walk out of there. So it's just like one thing after another that's going on, right? And as these different things are going on, and mind you, there's other things going on that I don't even have time to explain, but I just wanted to just show you how many different things was happening in my life in a course of not even a month, after I felt like I've gotten the opportunity of a lifetime, or at least an opportunity that I've been looking for, right? Because with this opportunity, there's a possible opportunity for growth to maybe get some drivers under myself. And then I'm still striving to get the van to do some other type of work, right? But yet all of these different things are happening to where now I'm being charged extra money. I need to find a car. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this rental. Just all of these things are going on. And I talked to the rental place company and they don't want to give me my money back. They're doing all types of stuff not to give me my money back. But it was something, you know, that I had said to my wife, because when all of this stuff was going on, I realized it brought me to these scriptures. Like it reminded me of these scriptures, and we're going to jump into this now. But it was something I said to my wife. I said, you know what? A lot of times when we go through a lot of these situations, we focus on everything that's happening to us right now, all of the negative things that are going on right now. But I said to her, I said, you know what? When we had those long seasons or months of a nice flow of everything going good, we didn't even think about, we didn't even stop to say, oh, everything is going great. I wonder when something's going to hit me that's negative or bad, right? We just flow in it and we have a good time in it. But when we get into these situations where it's just one thing on top of another, we like to make movies out of those things. We like to highlight them. We like to tell everybody about what we're going through. And I said to my wife, I said, I had to really sit back and think. I said, think about it. The car, it was a blessing to me. I put 281,000 miles on that car. Like, what more could I ask for it? Did I want to get more miles from it? Of course. If somebody else with a Hyundai Sonata could say they got more miles out of it, I'm sure they can. But I got 281 out of it, right? I've been renting cars since I was probably like 16, 17 years old, and this is the first time I ever caught a flat in a rental car. Right? I never caught a flat before. I never went through this situation before. Yes, it was bad. I got treated bad. They was talking crazy to me on the phone. The guy inside the budget rental car place, all types of nonsense. But this is the first time something like this has happened, right? So I just started looking at it like that. Like, you know what? I'm not going to stress none of these things, right? And it brought me back to these scriptures. And when you look at these scriptures, the common theme in these scriptures is, and we know that. That's what Romans 8 and 28 says. And we know that. James 1, 2, and 4 says, brethren, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. What? Knowing this. Romans 8 and 28 says, knowing that. James 1, 2 through 4 says, knowing this. Look behind me. No, right? You have to know. Romans 5, 3 through 6. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations, knowing that Tribulation worketh patience. Listen, we have to be reminded. First of all, we have to know. You have to know why it is you are going through what it is that you're going through. Why are you going through what it is that you're going through? Because God wants you to see something about Him and also see something about yourself. Where are you truly in your faith? Are you walking in patience, right? Do you really believe that you are perfect and entire, lacking nothing? Do you really believe that I am all that you need? And that's why we go through these trials and tribulations. And something that I talked about in the past to always be reminded of. Anytime you're doing something for God, you're doing something for your family, you're doing something for your finance, your business, your work, something that you feel is a goal and something that's going to be a great thing and be a blessing to others, guess what? Opposition is going to come. I've talked about this in the past. When we look at Moses and the children of Israel coming out of Egypt, opposition, opposition, opposition. But we have to know that, right? We have to know why these things are happening. And by the grace of God, I was able to tap into that. Haven't always done that in the past, right? I might have kept making movies out of it. I might have kept telling everybody everything I was going through. And I only told you guys like a small percentage of all the things that have been happening from the beginning of the year. But God, but God, knowing this, knowing that, right? That the trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience, listen what that says, let patience have her perfect work. Let her. That means stop kicking and screaming and fighting. Let it be. Let it flow. It don't mean you don't do nothing in these situations. Pray, God, what do you want me to do here? How do you want me to address this? Who do you want me to call to get this situation handled? Right? Knowing that the trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have her perfect work. Let her have her perfect work. Why? That she may be perfect and entire. God wants us whole, lacking nothing. And when we are whole, that's when we are truly abiding in Him, knowing that, listen, we got everything that we need and nobody's going to get over on us, right? Because we are children of God. Nobody is going to take advantage of us, right? Because we are children of God. You know what? I let go of those situations and I let God. I called when I needed to call. I showed up where I needed to show up, even with my lawnmower situation. Yesterday, something in my spirit, I said, you know what? I'm gonna call tomorrow. I think today it would have been 4 weeks that it would have been there, right? But yesterday I said, you know what? I'm gonna call at the end of the day and I'm going to give them my opportunity to see if they fixed it. If they haven't, I'll just go pick it up. I deposited $45 on it. If they don't want to give me my $45 back, my peace, me holding on to my faith, right? Me being a good representative of God, not going in there flipping out and talking crazy and all that, it's not even worth that $45. If that's what I got to do, if I got to walk away from that $45, listen, I done lost, more than that, just, dropping money out of my pocket or something like that in my lifetime, right? So it's like, it's nothing to be stressful about or be worried about or take that serious. So I said, I'll call at the end of the day and we'll see what happens. I call at the end of the day and guess what? The guy says, listen, it's ready. The guy is just now finishing it up. Once I said, listen, I'm just going to keep flowing and let God have His way. If I got to keep this rental for a while, let God have His way. I'm just going to trust God that I'm going to do and make what I need to make to cover everything that I need to cover. And so far, that's absolutely what's been happening. So I said all that to say, listen, yes, you got all these things going on in your life. Some of you, it may be all these things. Some of you, it may be a few things, but whatever things they are, know. You have to know why you're going through this, right? And the reason why you're going through this is because it's helping you to get stronger in the Lord. It's showing you who the Lord is. It's showing you that He is true to His word. And it's giving you an opportunity to have a resume, to have a testimony for somebody else to say, listen, I went through that before. I've been through that. It's not really that serious. It feels that serious, but it's not that serious. And why is it not that serious? Because God has everything under control. I pray that this has been an encouragement to you guys. I wanted to just share a little bit of what I've been going through, just so you can see that we all go through, right? And we all have to apply the scriptures to our situation. And if we do that, we will come out victorious no matter what. But know that I love you guys. Know that I appreciate you guys. Keep coming back for these meals. I believe that it will strengthen you in your faith. It will encourage you in God, and it will help you to encourage others. Love you guys. And until the next time we share a beautiful spiritual meal together, shalom.